Good morning, students. Now we come to the third part of the class of the chapter metals and non-metals. So till now we have studied what are metals, their properties, chemical properties and the physical properties. Then we saw how the metals and the non-metals react with oxygen and how do they react with water. We also saw how the reactivity series of the metals are and how reactive they are. Today we are going to see how metals and non-metals react with each other. So let us go through this topic through an example. This is a child, Divya. Divya brought 8 biscuits in her snack box, and her best friend Riya had brought 4 biscuits in her snack box. I repeat, Divya had brought 8 biscuits and Riya had brought 4 biscuits. After some while, Riya was hungry and she wanted some more biscuits. That time, Divya shared 2 biscuits with Riya and Riya was happy. So Divya had shared 2 biscuits with Riya. Now when she shared 2 biscuits, Divya was remaining with 6 biscuits. And Riya, on the other hand, after receiving 2 biscuits, that is 4 plus 2, she was remaining with 6 biscuits. She was having 6 biscuits, which is just same as what Divya had. Sorry. So here Divya was the person who was giving, who was sharing. So Divya was the sharer. And here Riya was the one receiving. So she was the receiver. So here Divya, since she shared, she got positive sign. And here Riya, since she was the receiver who received 2 electrons or 2 biscuits, she got a negative sign. And both formed a bond. Both became happy. Same thing happens with metals. Let us see that. So dear students, as we saw how Divya and Riya shared the biscuits along with each other and they formed a relationship, they formed a bond between them, a good bond. So similar reaction happens when metals and non-metals react with each other. Let us see how does it happen. So we are going to study about the formation of sodium chloride, where sodium has atomic number as 11 and its electronic configuration is 1s1, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. That means 2 electrons in 1s1, 2 electrons in 2s1, 2p6 has got 6 and 3s1 has got 1. So this is how the electronic configuration is, wherein 8 electrons are there and 1 electron is in the outermost orbit. This electron, when it gets out, a octet is formed. Wherein for sodium, what happens is it catches that 1 electron from his 17 electrons that he has. He's got 1 electron in the outermost orbit, that is 2, 8, 8, and 1 electron is left in the outermost orbit. So it wants 1 electron to reach the octet. So this sodium and chlorine forms a bond together and they get attracted to each other to form sodium chloride, where sodium is the one who took that 1 electron and chlorine was the one who gave the electron. So this is how the form of sodium chloride took place. It does not exist as molecules but integrates of oppositely charged electrons. So it happens between oppositely charged electrons. Yes, dear students, so as we saw in the video how the reaction took place between sodium and chlorine, let us go in brief regarding the same. When a metal loses electron, it becomes positive. So they are called as electropositive elements. And when a non-metal takes electron from somebody or it gains electron, it becomes negative ion, and they are called as electronegative ions. So what happens in positive electrons, the electropositive element, suppose sodium. Now sodium's electronic configuration is 2:8:1. So it has got one valence electron in the outermost orbit. So, and coming to chlorine's electronic configuration is 17. Total atomic number is 17. So the electronic configuration will be 2:8:7. That means in the last cell, the chlorine requires one more electron to become to have the perfect filled shell. So for this, the chlorine takes one electron from sodium, and sodium becomes octate by 2:8, and chlorine becomes octate by taking one electron from sodium and becoming 2:8:8. So this formation of sodium chloride takes place in this way. So sodium becomes 2:8:1, it becomes 2:8, and chlorine, which was 2:8:7, became 2:8:8. You can see in the image below. This is how the transfer takes place. So this attraction between sodium positive ion and chlorine negative ion results in the formation of sodium chloride molecule, that is NaCl. The same type of structure takes place in the formation of various other elements too, like forming magnesium chloride. The same type of procedure takes place. Magnesium, the atomic number is 12. So the electronic configuration is 2:8:2. That means magnesium has 2 electrons in the outermost orbit, wherein chlorine has got 17, that is 2:8:7. But here chlorine has got only 1 electron that can be used, right? So what happens in this bond is that the attraction between chlorine plus 2 and Mg, that is magnesium, 2 electrons takes place, and a formation of magnesium chloride molecule is formed. So that one extra bond, which was one extra element that was there with magnesium, so it forms 2 electron pairs. So that is the reason chlorine is written as Mg2. If you see in magnesium chloride, it is written MgCl2, wherein in the last formation you saw NaCl, that is sodium chloride, it was not 2, wherein in magnesium chloride it became MgCl2. So this is how the formation of magnesium chloride took place. Now we are going to the next topic, that is ionic compounds. How does ionic compounds are formed? So ionic compounds are compounds formed by the transfer of electron from a metal to a non-metal. Ionic compounds are compounds formed by the transfer of electron from a metal to a non-metal. So the properties of ionic compounds are, they are formed by transfer of electrons and are made up of ions. They are crystal solids. They have high melting point and low boiling point. They are soluble in water but insoluble in organic solvents. They conduct electricity in molten state or in solid solution. So these are the properties of ionic compounds. Let us go towards these properties in detail. So now we are going to see the properties of ionic compounds. The compounds in which the constituent particles are held by ionic bonds are known as ionic compounds. The physical nature of ionic compounds are that the ionic compounds exist in an crystallized form. The compounds break into pieces when pressure is applied on it. Their melting and boiling point differs as they possess very high melting and boiling point. This is due to the strong electrostatic force of attraction between oppositely charged electrons. And now let us study the solubility property. Ionic compounds are soluble in water. However, the ionic compounds are insoluble in non-polar solutions like benzene, hexane, ether. They are not soluble in this type of solutions. Ionic reaction, the chemical reaction between ion solids involve regrouping of ion in their equation. Such reaction takes place rapidly. It happens on a very vast places. Ionic compounds do not conduct electricity in solid states because ions are held by strong attractive forces and they do not move ionic bonds into molten states. So they do not dissolve easily. So dear students, these were the properties that we went through of ionic compounds, wherein we saw how the transfer of electron takes place, how the crystallization of solid, how they are into crystalline form, why is their melting point high, why is their boiling point low. And we also saw how do they conduct electricity in their various forms. We also saw the solubility aspect of the ionic compounds. Now we go to the next topic, that is occurrence of metals. How does these metals form? What is the criteria of these metals forming? Some metals like gold, silver, platinum, etc. are found in their free state in the Earth's crust because they are least reactive. So because they are not reactive much, they are found in their free states. Most metals are found as oxides. So most of the metals are found in their oxide forms because they are reactive. They are found in their carbonate form, sulfonate form or hydrides form. So these there are many metals who are formed in these forms. So they are found in these forms. Oxide form. So why are they found in these forms? Are they react with the nature, they react with the environment, they react with oxygen, they react with water, they react with various other aspects to form different types of oxides. But coming to gold, silver and platinum, they do not react with any of the material. So they do not react with any aspects like air, water or carbon dioxide. That is the reason they are found in their free form. Now these metals we can divide it into three parts: minerals, ore and gangue. So how are they divided? Let's see. Minerals are elements or compounds which occur naturally inside the earth crust. So the compounds that we get which occur in their original form inside the earth crust, those are called as minerals. They are formed naturally. So we don't have to make it. It is naturally found inside the earth's crust. Ore is a mineral from which metals can be extracted. So ore is a raw form that is found in nature, and from that we extract the mineral. So we have to extract the mineral from it. So as you have heard about iron ore, so there is an ore from which we extract iron. So that is what is iron we have formed, and the ore that was there from which we extracted the iron, that ore is called the iron ore. Gangue is the impurity present in the ore like rock particles, sand particles, clay particles, etc. So when the process in which the ore is being separated from the metal, that process, whatever dirt is being or whatever impurities are being found, those impurities are known as gangue or gangue. So I hope you all have understood what is mineral, what is ore and what is gangue. Now this extraction of ore, how does this extraction of ore takes place? Metals are extracted from the ore in three main steps. So there are three main steps of extraction. First is concentration of the ore. second is reduction of the metal, and last is the refining or purification of the metal. So first what happens is the ore is concentrated, that is the removal of gangue takes place, and the ore get from the ore by different methods. So all the impurities are removed from the ore by different methods, and these are the steps from which we can remove the impurities from the ore. So first is metals. So steps involved in the extraction of metals from the ores are: metals of high reactivity, what happens with them is electrolysis of molten ore takes place. Metals of medium reactivity has different aspects from where the extraction of ore takes place. And the last is metal of low reactivity, what are the processes that takes place, that is sulfur ore roasting method. So this is the entire aspects of how the ore takes place. We are going to see the steps involved in the extraction of ore in detail in the next lecture, wherein we will go one step by step with all the methods which are involved, and we will be I'll be explaining it in detail to you all, so that you understand all these aspects in brief detail. So that is it for today's lecture, students. So what all topics did we cover today are: we covered occurrence of metals, we covered what is mineral ore and gangue. We also came to know about ionic compounds, how are ionic compounds formed and what are their properties. We also came to know about reaction of metals with non-metals, in which we studied about formation of sodium chloride, that is NaCl, and formation of magnesium chloride, that is MgCl2. So this is all about today's aspect. I'll be sharing a worksheet now, which you are supposed to solve and upload it on the drive link shared to you all. You can upload it by today evening. You must upload the worksheet on the drive link. Now my dear students, in the drive link, how do you upload it? It's simple. In your name folder, you have to make one folder of worksheet, and you will submit all the worksheet in that folder. When you submit the worksheet, you have to write the lesson name. Lesson name means lesson 1. Suppose this is lesson number 3. So you are going to rename it as L.3. So this is how you are going to rename it. And you are going to paste it into the drive. Do not forget to put your attendance by putting a comment on this video with your name and standard and division. Mentioning your name, standard and division. Do not forget to put your attendance by today evening 9 p.m. Thank you, dear students. Hope you have a blessed day ahead. And the worksheet will be shown to you now.